Welcome to the Mandcave, the only podcast hosted by two technologically brilliant best friends who have nothing in common except their first names. I'm Mandy Kaplan.
And I'm Mandy Fabian. Oh, man. Every week, I'm not going to lie, folks, we give each other a hard time. Sometimes it's about movies and books, and sometimes it's just about technology. And who's right and who's wrong? Grab a couch. Let's get to it.
Wait a minute, cut this shit.
We alluded to the Super Bowl in the opening, but
yeah.
I want to talk commercials rather than the game.
Okay.
I found them overall to be disappointing. There, I said it. Yeah, the game was good. The commercials were disappointing.
Well, you know what the Super Bowl made me realize? I have a big birthday coming up this year, and I'm going to be 100 years old. And do you know how I know I'm going to be 100 years old?
Because I'm 22 again?
No, because I was at a Super Bowl party where there was like marijuana smoke smell and also children running around. And it was very chaotic and not at all what I anticipated. I just didn't anticipate that. And I realized, I'm 100. I want to be sitting snuggled up on my couch with a blanket, like partially watching the game and reading my book, The Candy House, which I loved and apparently others didn't. That's how I want to, if at all, watch the Super Bowl. Quite frankly, I'd rather clean out my garage. So this is how I know.
Yeah.
But I missed a lot of the commercials because it was kind of chaotic. And all I noticed is there were a lot of celebrities.
I agree.
And there was
every commercial featured celebrities. Yeah.
Yeah. But my favorite thing is this is maybe the first time I've seen Jesus take airtime on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hey-o.
He was heavily featured.
Which I'm a little mad. He didn't even call me to audition for the voiceover or to play Jesus. I mean, I have long brown hair and white skin. It should have,
And do you think Tim Tebow is somewhere going, finally, like this is what I was waiting for?
Yeah.
Now that he's out of the NFL. Yeah.
It was that was the most interesting commercial. We all kind of felt blindsided by it.
At our house too. Yeah. It was weird.
Because it didn't quite finish the job. Like, look, I am all behind any religion who wants to make the statement that's like, hey guys, why don't you remember that we're all humans and it really should be about love. 1,000% I would be behind that. But this was a little weird. It just showed a lot of violent, or people fighting. And then it was like, Jesus knows us. And I was like, wait, there's a disconnect here. Like, are you guys going to remember that there's a lot of people who go to church on Sunday and yet also storm the Capitol? Are we ever going to make that connection?
Allegedly storm the Capitol. There's no proof.
You're right. Yeah. So anyway, that was the part that I was like, wow, I've never seen a Jesus commercial. But I'm excited. I hope that they do a radio campaign, and hire us.
Yes. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
We're like totally Jesus-like, our voices, I think.
We are.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. And we could sing from that musical that I did. Jews and Jesus, oil and water, milk and meat. What's the problem? Forbidden fruit is awfully sweet. That's a song from a musical I did, Jews and Jesus. It's where I met our mutual friend, Kevin Merritt. And, I played a shiksa and he played a Jewish guy and we fell in love.
Oh, bless your heart.
Nobody wanted us. It was like Romeo and Juliet. I mean, it was that important in terms of being theater.
Oh, we all know it. Yeah. You don't have to explain Jews and Jesus. Everyone knows it. Yeah.
Could we maybe do that duet in Miscast next? I'll get you the sheet music. You'll love it.
Please. Yeah. My finger is on the goddamn pulse because I saw Megan.
Glad you said that.
I saw Megan in the movie theaters.
How is it?
I freaking loved it. I loved it. For my work at Blockbuster, I had to go see it. And it's clever and sharp and it's not really that scary, but it's twisted and I just want more movies like it. So
wow.
I didn't assign it to you because I didn't want you to be too scared, but it's really fun.
Just the judgment dripping in your voice when you said
don't
that.
Like scary movies.
I don't. They really scare me, and then I get really upset.
Especially like you live in a house with dolls. So you would go home and be like, ugh, so I don't want that for you.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't like Chucky. But I'm thinking of changing my tune because did I tell you my amazing horror idea?
No.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
So an out-of-work actor gets a job doing a musical in out-of-stock theater, like summer stock.
Uh-huh.
And he hates musicals more than anything. But also he gets launched into this murder mystery where everyone in the cast is being killed off one by one and he can't figure out who's doing it. And guess what it's called?
Oh, I want to come up with a clever title and I don't have it.
Kill Me Now. Oh. I'll write the musical part. You
Patrick
do the scary
Bateman.
horror part.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Horror is where it's at. That's what I'm working on these days.
I love it.
So the big news in our family is that we had a bar mitzvah on Saturday. Not for us, not for Casey, but his best friend got bar mitzvahed. So it took over the weekend. It was a big deal. And I wanted to share this story with everybody that we brought home 7 12 to 13-year-old boys in between the reception and going over to the bar mitzvah boys' house. We gave them like a stopgap for an hour and a half at our house. The boys are running around. Everyone's having a great time. The cats are getting very overwhelmed with 7 boys giving them affection and wanting to hug and squeeze the cats. So, and I was still in my formal wear from the bar mitzvah. So I go upstairs, I go in my room, and Lamb Chop, I think everybody knows Lamb Chop. He's a legend. Scurries under the bed, scared.
Mm-hmm.
And I say to Lamb Chop, oh, don't worry, Lammy. Are you frightened? It's okay. You don't have to go under the bed. And I'm trying to talk him down like a good mom. And then I go to unzip my dress and I hear, Casey's mom? And one of the boys, Zach, pops up from behind my bed. And he's like, I'm really sorry, but Scout was under the bed and I was trying to get her out. I'm sorry. And I'm there like, thank God I had not gotten naked. I had just started the process. And I don't know what's more embarrassing, that Zach heard me talking to my cat like he's a real person and like he was going to answer, or that I almost Mrs. Robinson, Casey's little friend.
There's so much about that story. I'm glad we're going to be celebrating our 100th birthday together. That's all I'm going to say.
It was amazing. And Casey's like, oh my God, Mom, Zach will never come over again.
It would have been a better story if you'd really dropped your dress to the ground. That would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
And you would have been screaming, and then you guys would have locked eyes for a minute. And it would have been weird.
Just
and
the two of us. Yeah.
And
just a moment.
You'd be like, when is Zach coming to sleep over, Casey?
Oh,
I mean,
God.
There's a different way this could have gone.
Mandy K. Letourneau. Boom. Do you even get the reference? No. Okay. You're so much classier than I am. She's that teacher that fell in love with a 13-year-old and went to jail and then got out of jail and married that kid when he was 19 or so. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine staying interested in one person for that long?
That's what's shocking about that story. Good call.
Yeah. Actually, because I'm celebrating my wedding anniversary this week, and I keep saying to Patrick, I'm like, God, can you believe it? Can you believe we're still together? Like, that's crazy, right? Like, I'm actually happy. Like, so I say this to him, like, and I'm actually happy. Like, I'm not even faking it. Like, I'm not even hiding and swallowing a daily dose of resentment and rage. And like, I'm not trying to dampen my complete disdain for you. Like, this is real, man. I really enjoy your company. And he was like, when we got married, the point was to stay married, right? This shouldn't be such a surprise to you every year on our anniversary that we're still together. I'm like, people break up, man. I mean, I'm shocked. This is going well.
So you're not lining up any understudies or backup? You don't have a bench ready to go?
Oh, God, no.
Oh.
I don't have that kind of energy. Not even, I mean, you're my backup plan.
Yeah.
Except you like cats. So I don't know, that's going to be tough for me. Oh, hey, but I will say this just real quick.
Yeah.
I want you to know, if we did end up living together at the Super Bowl party, there was something called a Philly cheesesteak dip that was like a liquidy cheese with like chunks of meat in it.
I could get on board.
And hell yes, you could. I thought of you every step of the way. I mean, and I shoveled that shit right into my mouth. It was real good. Anyway, that's all.
All right.
I have a plan if we do end up living together for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have our meal plan all set.
And we know what our bathtub will be full of every night.
Oh, bathtub. I didn't go there, but okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I selected a very classy comedy. 2013's release, We're the Millers. Pete, please play the trailer.
So how was work this evening, neighbor?
I need a lap dance, table 5. Don't get too close. The guy smells like asparagus pea and he's got a hook hand.
You're not a neighbor. You're a pot dealer.
I have a smidge of marijuana down in Mexico. Bring it back here by Sunday night. I will pay you $100,000.
It was way out of my league.
You don't have a choice.
What the hell's that?
I bought an orca. I make a lot of money.
You're probably gonna get searched at the border. You could wear a disguise.
Bane from Batman, something like that.
Oh, there's no drugs in here. You've nothing to worry about.
How would you like to make 10 grand?
Drug dealing?
It's not drug dealing. It's smuggling. Me crossing the border alone? Huge red flag. But families, they don't get a second look. So I need you to be my wife. Look, I hired this dork that lives in my building and a little gutter punk.
Kenny, meet your new sister.
I've always wanted a sister.
Get it off of me.
We just have to dress up like a squeaky clean all-American family. This is my son, Kenny Miller, and my lovely daughter, Casey.
Jesus.
Hola, I'm here to pick up a smidge of pot. This is not a smidge. You got me moving enough weed to kill Willie Nelson, man.
Is this part of your plan?
You folks can make camp with the Fitzgeralds tonight. When you've been married as long as we have, you're looking to spice things up a bit.
I've never touched another woman before.
I would be okay with that.
So I guess we're swinging.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
There we go.
I'll touch you if you touch me. Hey, little lady, don't just say maybe. I can leave right now.
I really like your family.
Is that a
You know what that
rocket
is? Is that a
or,
cucumber?
They're interesting.
It's a big black penis.
It's a skateboard.
Skateboard, great.
Of course it is.
The big black skateboard. Turns out that we stole from an international drug dealer.
You all die now. As a family.
We're not even a real family.
My wife, she's just a cheap stripper.
Okay, prove it.
Let's get naked, shaking money maker, baby. I'ma show you how to.
Have some respect. That's your mother.
We have been shot at. Kenny's been bitten by a tarantula.
I can't feel my bingo.
Will you relax? How about a little music?
I seen a rainbow yesterday, but too many storms have come and gone, leaving a trace of not what God given me. Is it because my life in 10 shades of gray? I pray all 10 fade away, seldom praising for the sunny day.
And we got to get through our thoughts because we have Jennifer Aniston ready to go for an interview. That's our new thing.
I know. One of us should do her accent. You know what I mean? Just to make like we'll have a fake interview. One of us will do her accent. You know that Jennifer Aniston accent.
I don't. I think you're
Let's
nuts.
just do British.
Well, speaking of British, okay. So We're the Millers. You all just heard the trailer. It's a dumb comedy. I'm not going to defend it, as a story we've never heard before. But it just makes me laugh. It takes what is normally funny and amps it up and goes for it and crams it down your throat in a way I thoroughly enjoy. But the highlight is, I promised I was going to remember his name. He plays Kenny, the teenage boy. I'm going to get his name. Oh my
God. He is a dream,
Isn't he amazing? But he's British.
Is he? Oh my goodness.
Wicked British. And it's amazing to me.
Oh, he's so funny. Yeah, he's great. It's a very interesting. As I was watching it, I was like,
Will
yeah,
Poulter.
I can see.
Sorry,
Okay.
Will Poulter.
Hey, Will.
Mhm.
Shout out to Will. Thanks for listening, man. We love your work. As I was watching it, I thought, she would love this. I liked it. But I was like, oh my God, Mandy would be dying over this. I kind of wanted to watch it with you. I think we should watch. I mean, we're going to go see a movie this week together, but I like to watch it with you because I'm really curious as to, I'm always surprised as to what makes you laugh and what doesn't.
Well, calling Calling someone boner garage makes me laugh.
Okay, that was the funniest thing in the whole damn movie. That scene, I don't have the time code, damn it. But the scene when
go. No, you go.
Jennifer Aniston works at a strip club. She's a stripper named Rose. And there's another stripper and her name is Boner Garage. And Ken Marino plays the sleazy club owner. God damn, I love that guy.
He's
him. Like Will Ferrell to me. Like he just makes me laugh everything he does.
Yes, no matter what he's doing.
Yeah, he has no judgment on the characters. He doesn't mind. It's like he just does enough to be really funny and heightened, but not over the top like he doesn't care whether you think it's funny. I don't know. Right. There's something about him.
I agree.
And he plays this sleazy club owner who comes in and says, we have a new policy at the club now. We want you to have sex with the customers for money. And she's like, what? That's illegal. And he's like, yeah, well, I got to compete with the guys across the street. They're killing me. She's like, the Apple store?
Mm-hmm.
It's such a funny damn scene. And then that little perky stripper Boner Garage goes, we get to fuck customers for money? Cool. Yeah. Did you hear her?
And he's like, see, Boner Garage doesn't have a problem with it. Like, calling her Boner Garage is just my humor.
Yeah, I agree.
And not just making
really,
the
really
joke
funny.
once. They beat it into the ground and keep beating it. And that's my sweet spot.
Everything you said is so sexual. Like you're really like our only Fandys are eating this up.
Yeah. Oh, eating up. Okay.
That was my favorite scene in the movie. It's interesting. You know this movie. Why did you pick this movie? Did you have to watch it for your job at Blockbuster?
No.
You did.
No.
Are you serious?
I
you
love
just
this
picked
movie.
this as a guilty pleasure?
Yes, because when you hadn't seen Vacation, I was debating between these two. And I remember you saying you had never seen either one. And we did Vacation a long time ago and you loved it.
We did.
And it was
loved it.
We laughed through that whole podcast because we just kept giggling about the funny things. And I wanted that. I wanted to recapture that magic, that lightning.
You're
in a
tired.
bottle.
You're tired of me talking about women's issues. Is that it? Like,
yes.
And the goddess sexuality. You're like, fuck that. That was last week.
We got a little too highfalutin and I wanted to bring us right back down to tampons.
It's interesting because I was watching this and I was like, oh God, this is a larger conversation. But I was like, oh, because it did not get good reviews when it came out.
Oh, it didn't?
And No, it got slammed.
Oh.
It made a crap ton of money.
It's like a comedy cult classic.
Yeah, but it didn't get good reviews because it's a little bit like Jennifer Aniston and Jason Sudeikis are so like lovable boy and girl next door that to see them in this role, I think it was jarring for people, Yeah. And also it's not woke. I mean, it's like she's a stripper and then she's gonna, by the way, quick question.
Yeah.
Did you notice, can Jennifer Aniston dance? Or she had stand-ins, right? Like,
yes.
It's the craziest thing. I watched her try to dance a little bit. I was like, what's happening? And then they would cut away and cut away. Tell me about this.
But that's my first note was we never actually see her dance. A stripper who we never see dance. She walks, she bends down, she leans against things, but I don't know that they hired body doubles because we never saw her dance. I would think that they would have hired body doubles and watched her on a pole.
We didn't see her on a pole, but like when she's doing the dance in the factory or wherever they are, the barn, she dances a little bit there. But even that, I think, was a substitute. I think they had a body double do it. I mean, not a body double for all of it. Like you can see that it's her body, but whenever she has to actually move and not just pose, I'd be really curious. Let's see if we can get the director on the phone because I think that they hired someone to even do the small minimal dancing that we see her do. That was my takeaway.
Yeah, and you're saying dancing, but like it's just walking and bending. It's not dancing. I know we referenced Hustlers last week. I'm not sure why I'm so obsessed, but they really danced. I mean, Lopez.
Yeah.
I mean, it's J-Lo, but like,
yeah.
I can't figure out why they didn't give us just 20 seconds of actual strip teasing. She just didn't.
I don't think she can
ever come across like a stripper.
Or maybe it's in her contract. Like maybe there was a part of her that's like, listen, this is a comedy, so you don't need all that. This isn't sexy Jennifer Aniston time. But she seemed real into it. I mean, she was game for all of it. I like when she was, when she prayed on the plane. That was fun.
Yep.
So
I think for a long time she was typecast as Rachel or cute romantic leads. She did a lot of them. God bless her. But then I don't know which came first, this or Horrible Bosses. I think this was first and then Horrible Bosses. Have you seen Horrible Bosses?
Yes.
And she is so raunchy and over the top sexualized and disgusting and foul-mouthed. And I loved her in that role. I just thought it was so much fun to see America's Sweetheart go that far. And this was somewhere in between. So she's got it in her. But I don't know that we would buy Aniston as a stripper, even if she could dance. She just does not have stripper energy.
No. But it was a safe way to have this whole, these are four of the worst people without the teen, not the gorgeous British, the sweet little, not gorgeous, but you know what I mean, the sweet British
Will
teen
Poulter,
boy.
Kenny.
Yeah. Who's so, he has such a good heart. He's such a good person. And the rest of them are just garbage.
Awful.
Yeah. So it was it's a classic great setup though. Like it's a great, you have your plot, you know what you're going to get, the goobers in the RV, the people that they meet, her RV people. It was fun. I mean, definitely. But it was one of those movies, not unlike Superbad, which you were also like, oh my God, go see Superbad. It's the funniest movie ever. And I went with Patrick in the theater and he is next to me laughing like a schoolgirl. And I'm in the theater looking around like, I don't get it. Is that funny? I don't understand why this is funny. It felt a little bit like that because I was like, okay, I see it. But it's like, is it that funny?
Well, one of the games I was considering, I was Googling, funniest movies of all time, just to see what's on there. And it was interesting because I was like, oh, Mandy won't like that. Mandy won't think that's funny. Mandy doesn't get that. We are very different. And so what is what is your funniest movie? If you were just cracks me up.
I think oh God. Well, actually, Vacation was way up there. And I think there's something about that one that was just really smart too. I think sometimes when there's you're just joking at me, it's like you set up a premise that's funny and then you're just like joke. Like if I don't believe it, if I don't if it's not grounded in something, I don't know, Jason Sudeikis, I just find it hard to believe that he's that guy, a down on your luck drug dealer. Maybe if Charlie Day was playing that part, it might have been more like, because I would believe that this guy's that desperate.
Yeah.
Whether that's his real personality, you know what I mean? Where he's like, I have a dark side, man.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, Patrick playing a blue collar guy. He does have a middle class bone in his body, but you're not going to believe it coming out of his mouth.
The following statement has been made is the opinion only of Mandy Fabian. Mandy Kaplan thinks you would believe anything Patrick commits to as an actor.
No, I'm telling you, he has done a wonderful job doing his version of blue collar, but he never gets those roles is what I'm saying, because there's other guys that you look at, you're like, yeah, you're a plumber.
Yeah.
So it's not his fault as an actor. It's just I think there's a disconnect. It's like whenever Jennifer Aniston played the lady who couldn't get a date or whose husband didn't want to sleep with her. And I was like, correction. There is no man on the planet who doesn't want to sleep with Jennifer Aniston.
What movie was that?
I want to sleep with Jennifer Aniston.
I know.
It was the one by Ed Burns. Ed Burns and his brothers. Not the brothers McMullen, but there was another one.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a couple where Jennifer Aniston can't get a date. No criticism on her acting whatsoever. But I'm just like, no, I'll come pick her up at 9.
I don't watch fantasy movies, so sci-fi fantasy, that's not my thing. I'm assuming they're all sci-fi fantasy if she can't get a date.
Exactly.
Well, I do love dumb comedies. I just do. The list that I was reading is Dumb and Dumber, and I'm like, yeah,
I love Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, okay. One of my all-time
But I don't
favorites.
like the Farrelly brothers as much.
Okay.
Dumb and Dumber I loved.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. They
That's
are
the
actually
Farrelly
Dumb and
brothers.
Dumber. Yeah. Okay. But I didn't like There's Something About Mary that much. I love, that's weird.
But so There's Something About Mary is famous for showing us his balls caught in a zipper.
Yes.
And We're the Millers doubles down on that in such a delightful way. Kenny, this teenage boy, this hapless, sweet teenage boy, gets bit by a tarantula on his balls. On my balls, David, on my balls. And then they show us this swollen, gigantic testicle multiple times. They keep showing it to us. And it is hilarious to me. Was that a turnoff for you? I think it's so funny.
No, it's not a turnoff. It's not a turnoff at all. It's just, to me, my brain goes, okay. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so he has a swollen ball. Okay. And I see that it's a swollen ball and you're like, yeah, because he got bit by a spider. But I'm kind of like, I don't know why there's a disconnect. It doesn't make me laugh just seeing a penis or balls. Like, I don't, I'm not.
Oh, it makes me laugh every time I see a penis or balls. Every time.
Oh my God. Jeremy is the funniest guy on the planet for many reasons. But now he must feel like a king in the bedroom every time. Do you point and laugh or
There's
just
a lot.
laugh?
It's like a titter that I'm doing at most times. Yeah. He calls it foreplay, but yeah.
It's not funny. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I feel like maybe it's just sort of easy. It's low-hanging fruit.
Really?
Ayo.
That ball hangs low.
And by the way, I'm the worst with low-hanging fruit, like the dumb puns and the and also I think sometimes I'm just like, if everybody else thinks it's funny, I'm not going to. Like, I want to go the other direction. It's ridiculous. I wish I wasn't like that, but I'm a little wired that way.
So do I.
I want to be caught by surprise, you know?
Well, I think this movie starts to, we get it. We get the point of these 4 funny characters. Emma Roberts is adorable in this, and she says a lot of shocking things, and it's all fun and games. But then they really double down when they meet Kathryn Hahn and Nick Offerman, who play a Midwestern RVing couple. And Kathryn Hahn is so funny in this movie. I don't know how much was scripted, but she does a lot of talking about her vagina and how it used to be so tight. And now it's like shooting a hot dog down a hallway and a tampon just slides right out of her. She pronounces tampon, which I love.
Tampon.
So but I do have a clip that I love when they are all playing Pictionary, which is a scene we have seen a million times.
Yeah.
But Pete, if you could play at 54:20, Jennifer Aniston guessing at Pictionary.
Okay, let's go, Kenny.
All right, Kenny, here we go. Draw your brains out. All right.
All right, that's a line.
That is a slash.
No,
Guns N' Roses.
looking like a spring.
It's a slash. What is that? That's a.
But that-
Kenny, come on, draw
is it
something,
a,
buddy. Come on.
String.
Come on, son. Rocket.
Oh, wait,
It's a
you know what that
rocket.
is? Is that a
or,
cucumber?
This is really stupid.
Is it a bad drawing, Kenny?
Is
My
it
guess
like
is
a
bad
hos-
drawing. It's
It's a penis!
I don't know.
A penis! It's a big dick. Those are balls. It's a big black dick. It's drawing black. It's a big black dick. It's a big black cock. Black cock down.
It's a skateboard.
It's a skateboard.
Skateboard, great.
Of course it is.
It's a big black skateboard.
It's a big black skateboard. I see it. Of course, it's very clear. But you see how it was up? You see how it looks like it's wheels, so I didn't see it down the ground. And then
Now that we've all heard it, I like that it takes a joke we've seen, Pictionary, and it makes it funny. And to come up with Black Hawk Down, that's hilarious to me.
It is not just hilarious to you. It's hilarious.
Okay.
Right. So that's the thing. Like maybe a spider biting his balls and it's swelling up feels exaggerated and not grounded. I don't know. There's something about it. I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
But Black Hawk Down and the way that she delivered that is hilariously funny. Nick Offerman and Kathryn, that's a dumb scenario when they go into the tent and try to steal the keys or whatever. Because obviously they're not going to do that, because obviously if you unzip someone's tent, they're going to wake up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that whole thing is dumb, but hilarious. When they wake up and they're like, ooh, we've never done this, but we're game. I love that setup, and I want it. And because those 4 actors handled it beautifully. Nick Offerman putting his finger in Jason Sudeikis' ear.
Ear,
that's the kind
people.
of thing.
Get your mind out of the gutter. He puts it in his ear.
But that is the kind of thing that I go, oh, that's hilarious. It's not homophobic. It's not like he commits so hard to putting his finger in his ear. It's, now if he had been rubbing his nipples, I would have been like, meh, because boring. But putting it in his ear was hysterical to me. I was laughing hysterically. And even Kathryn Hahn putting her hands on Jennifer Aniston's breasts and being like, Like, I loved it. It was so funny.
What I just think that like, that's the joke, right? Catherine Hahn is like, oh, I don't know if I can. Okay, here goes. Do it fast. And she puts her hands on her breast. And you think that's the joke. And then they show you the men. And Nick Offerman is like gently rubbing Sudeikis' shoulder for a minute. Like, cause it seems more like isn't that nice? Our two ladies are getting close. And then it turns weird with the finger in the ear. It's just, they just keep upping the ante. I love it.
Yeah, they really did.
And
yeah.
One of the guys who steals the movie for me, and I'm putting out a public message, Mark L. Young plays Scotty P. He's only in 2 scenes. He's like a local townie. You know what I'm saying? And he is so goddamn funny.
That guy!
With long, gross hair. And his tattoo is no regrets, spelled Ragret.
That was hilarious.
He is so funny. And then the end of the movie, you watched the credits, right? Because they do fun outtakes. He gets, I don't know if those are his line-oramas or if they're feeding them to him. He's so funny.
Yeah. And again, a character we've seen a million times, something that could have been so cliche, but he filled it up so much, like with his little giggle after his line. Know what I'm saying? He had this little giggle that he did pitch perfect, repeated it exactly the same way every time. I was dying.
And Sudeikis feeling the need to answer every time. Yeah, no, I speak English. I know what you're saying. Still, no, I got it. I know what you're saying. Like pointing it out and answering every time. Oh,
I did like that. I really like the fun of, them turning into parents, going from these like the stripper and the drug dealer into young man, you better get your,
right.
Become like being protective of their teenage daughter who's homeless, not really their teenage daughter.
But it allows for the funniest scene in the movie, the set piece scene where his fake sister, Casey, is going to teach Ken how to kiss. And they're fake brother and sister, and they're doing it. And you think that's as far as a movie could go. And then Aniston gets in on the other side, and they're bouncing this sweet Will Poulter back and forth between them, showing him how to kiss with tongue. And you think that's as far as they could go. And Sudeikis is watching, eating kettle chips. And there's something so priceless about the kettle chips. And he's going, oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah. Get a little tongue in there. Good, good. And like, it is bizarre and upsetting and beyond hilarious to me.
Yes, that was very, very funny. Yes, agreed. That scene was really, really hilarious. And then, of course, the girl that he likes walks in.
Yeah.
And sees it. And, yeah. That was really, really, really raised the ante. And again, one of those things you're like, that would never happen. But in a way you go, but they're not related. And she is a stripper.
Right.
And she's real sweet about it. I was like, how is she going to do this?
Help him. Yeah. They both like want to help Kenny because he's such a sweetheart. His little face is priceless. He was in Dope Sick. You watched Dope Sick, right?
Oh, that's where I know him from. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. He grew up very handsome and, but I just, this was the first time I ever saw him and I just flipped for him.
Yeah.
Jared and I got in a debate about Skylar Gisondo from Vacation as the teenage brother and this kid. And they are both brilliant performances. Yeah. I got to go Skylar Gisondo.
Yeah, me too.
But they are
that might also be because he had a little bit more to do. I feel like Skylar's character was a little bit more. Kenny's character is a little bit one note, a little bit. He doesn't grow a lot during the movie. He doesn't have to do. He's sort of he's the comic. He's a comic foil, but he does kind of one thing brilliantly. But but whereas the other guy has a little bit more going on in terms of his. Yeah. Agreed.
I saw some of Vacation on TV, like a cut version. And that scene that we love about rim jobs, they changed to gym jobs.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Like, it's not even a thing. So I would just silence that word, right? But oh, God.
Yeah. Well, you could go boop job.
Yeah.
And let the audience fill it in on their own, you know?
It could
what
be
job is
a
that?
man job.
My God, it could be a man job.
What a transition. How many man jobs do you give We're the Millers? We're the Manders.
You know, I mean, I'd give it 4 because it's a good comedy. It really is. Like, it's, even though, you know, there's a lot of it you don't buy. It's not as great as some of the other ones, but really, we giggled all the way through. Oh, yeah. Okay. But it's not as funny though. I'm sorry, but it's not as funny as I have to just say this to people. I'm sorry. It's not as funny as, this is terrible. Now I can't remember his name. Oh, shoot. Anyway, you know what? You give your man jobs and I'm going to look up who I'm talking about.
Okay. I give it 4.5 man jobs. I could watch it over and over and still laugh out loud, but I compare it to Vacation, which to me is 5+. You know, it's not as funny, but it just, I read through this list of the funniest movies of all time and I was like, oh, I mean, that movie made me chuckle. Dumb and Dumber is way up there for me, but like, not a lot of these movies are, to me, laugh out loud, consistently funny, like We're the Millers. So, Superbad is funny to me. I think you are.
Yes, I know.
Deadly wrong.
Some things are very funny, but like, I guess I get annoyed when everyone's like, he's writing dick pics and there's a joke where a woman gets her period all over somebody. I don't think that's funny. It's not. It's cheap. Whereas putting your finger in someone's ear is right in the zone. For me. I'm being judgy, but
that's why we agree to disagree.
That's right. We're offering our opinions, even though I'm right. So the thing I was going to say, which is laugh out loud funny, could not stop laughing all the way through, is Tom Papa's new Netflix special. It's not that new. It was last fall.
Yeah,
but
he's funny.
I loved You're Doing Great. That was something that for the first 10 minutes could not stop laughing. He does a whole bit about people eating bread. I'm dying. I died laughing. And then his next one is called What a Day. And Patrick and I were like, you want to try Tom Papa's new special? And I didn't fall asleep, which I normally do because there's something about somebody talking that just puts me right out. With the exception
that does not bode well for us.
Present company excluded.
Thank you.
No, but like a late night comedy special, even if I'm laughing, I have a tendency to fall asleep. But I did not because I was laughing so hard. Tom Papa, What a Day. Cannot recommend highly enough.
Oh, I can't wait to watch it and hate it.
Yeah, you're probably going to hate it. Just like you hated Nick Kroll, which no person on the planet hates Nick Kroll.
I didn't hate it. That's a misquote. I just did not find it as
You
funny
didn't find it funny. The comedy special.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm going to assign you. I'm going to assign you. Oh, wait. No, we're doing that after, right? The game.
Yeah, we got some business now that we've given our man jobs. We're only on our 4th season. You'll get it.
I'm new. I'm new here.
But Mandcave is a production of True Story FM, engineering by Pete Wright, music by Ian Post. And we are getting reviews on Apple Podcasts, which thrills me. And we have a new review from Chaz with 2 Z's, NYC. Life through the lens of the Mandys is the only life I want. Oh, so thank you, Chaz. And more singing, please.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's really weird because I was actually thinking that we need to do more. Well, Jews and Jesus, obviously. We'll work up the opening number of that for next week.
Coming soon. Yeah. So thank you for the reviews. Keep them coming. They help us grow.
Yes. And we also really love to talk to you guys. So jump on to mancave.com/Discord. There's a channel for everyone and then a Fandy's only channel. You can become a Fandy we are supported by membership. So mancave.com/Fandy, FANDY. It's $5 a month. Just imagine if we make you laugh, would you like to buy us a cup of coffee? Because actually, being a member costs less than a nice oat milk latte. Think of it that way. So buy us a coffee or get a membership and join us. Join our fun little chatty, talky community.
And then after you've done all that, get some merch at mancave.com/merch. Great.
I love that merch.
Yeah. It's fun and it shows your support and your pride and your man cave pride.
Both my kids are wearing the Mandcave t-shirt. They love them, and it makes me so happy. Not the one with the pictures, but just
okay. I was like, we're doing Girls Gone Wild in one of them, so that's
they're girls and they're entitled to go wild. It's a new day. You know what I mean? I'm not going to hold them down. Patrick is going to teach him to kiss later this weekend after we saw the movie. It gave us it gave us a great idea. We want to support our children and their
Did Patrick watch it with you?
He did.
Did he laugh?
He did. Oh, giggled like a schoolgirl. It was super bad all over again. But by the way, I laughed also. But it's much more helpful for me to be with someone who's like, haha, because then I go, oh, yeah, that is funny. I can see it. It's enjoyable to watch somebody really enjoy it.
You need a comedy Sherpa.
No, I do laugh, but I don't know why I get so critical. I shouldn't. I love comedy. I think I just love comedy with heart. And when it gets to just balls and dick, I'm like, so that's just me. Rim job, though, hilarious.
Right.
So, I'm unpredictable. Okay.
So I have a game, of course.
Yeah.
Now, the thing I wrote down as I was watching this movie is, would you have gone on this mission, Mandy Fabian, if you were in these situations? Because each character is motivated by Sudeikis is all his stuff gets stolen and he needs to get out of debt to his drug boss, played by Ed Helms. So funny. Aniston doesn't want to fuck her customers for money. Emma Roberts, Casey, is basically homeless and a punk on the street and needs the money. And Kenny's lonely and does it for free and doesn't understand. He just wants to be friends with his drug dealing neighbor, David.
His mom went out for a drink last week.
Yeah. So, but it made me think, how far would we go if we were in those straits? Would you go on this mission?
There is nothing I would love more than to be a stripper, first of all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then to get asked by my handsome neighbor, who I have a little bit of a with,
to
go in an RV, to go on a road trip, and then have a little bit of danger that I am kind of used to because I'm a stripper. Every step of the way, this is my dream vacation. I would love this. All of it. I don't have the body for it, but I would 1,000% do this. This is a dream for me.
Well,
yes.
I would too, because I like planning crimes. And I would have this weird hubris that they're never going to think I'm a drug smuggler. I'm too all-American, adorable, whatever. They're never going to suspect me. So I wrote the phrase, would you, which then led me to would you rather. Have we ever played Would You Rather on the podcast?
Yes, absolutely.
We have?
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
but it was season 1. It was 3 seasons ago.
Okay. So I have pulled a few Would You Rather questions.
Great.
Some of them are thought-provoking and deep. Some of them we're just going to shout out our answers because we know we'll disagree. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm born ready.
Okay.
I'm still imagining being a stripper. I feel like I would prefer that life actually maybe to the life I have now that I think about it. But I'm probably just glamorizing
Okay, I'm just going to off the cuff. This is just here. Would you rather do a striptease for your dad or have your dad do a striptease for you?
I absolutely would like that motherfucker to do a striptease for me.
Oh.
I want to see it. Yeah. No, that would be so wonderful because I would love to sit in a chair and be like, show me what's going on in that big, beautiful brain of yours. You're math loving. I don't know how to talk to people, but I have a big heart somewhere. I want to see what he thinks is sexy. Dying to know.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. All right.
No hands.
That was just no. Yeah. This is not boner garage time. This is legit stripper time. Okay. So the rest of these I looked up. Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future?
Oh, 150 years for sure.
I immediately thought 10 minutes. I could see the Powerball numbers. I could see who wins the Super Bowl. I could make a fortune.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I hadn't thought. No, because look, if you look up the Powerball numbers, then what? You're going to go, oh, I see you've already bought the ticket. See, you're the one who plans the crimes. I don't know I don't think that way. You already bought the ticket and then you're going to look it up beforehand so that you could. No, how do you do that?
No, I know the Powerball number, so I go pick my numbers. Don't you pick numbers?
In 10 minutes? Can you get to the store in 10 minutes?
I could do a lot of stuff.
All right. Okay. I'll buy that. 10 minutes, I was like, it's probably going to be the same. I will still be talking.
Okay. Would you rather have a pause or a rewind button in your life?
God, these are really good questions.
Yeah. I wish I could take credit.
A pause or a rewind button? Well, what would a pause do? God, it would just make it last longer, wouldn't it? Now, if I rewind, do I get to take the knowledge of the present moment? Like, do I get to take what I know now and
like
rewind?
A do-over, a mulligan.
Yes.
Is what
I want to rewind for sure.
Yeah.
Because every blissful, amazing, like I'm having the best time of my life, I would have seen the musical six times. Would have rewound and watched it maybe 4 times.
Yeah. And a pause, I think, is great. If somebody's like a act before you think or speak before you think person, they might want to pause and think things through. But I am a thinker, not an actor or a doer. I don't know. Would you rather have everyone you know be able to read your thoughts, or for everyone you know to have access to your internet history?
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, God. Maybe access to my internet history just to bore them to tears.
Right.
Just so they really get that I'm the dullest person imaginable.
Yeah.
Well, they'd be like, wow, there are a lot of new electric SUVs coming out.
Mine would be mortifying because it would be like, wow, she really is looking up like what happened to that Real Housewife of New Jersey. Like that would be in my history and shameful. But my thoughts are so judgy that I don't want anyone in there.
I don't want anybody to look at my thoughts either. They'd be like, God, I thought she was doing well. And if they look at my internet history, they'd also be like, wait, is she moving? Because she's on Redfin a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Would you rather be chronically underdressed or overdressed? We could just answer on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Overdressed.
Overdressed. Well, because this is the thing.
You're
That's
an underdresser.
I'm a complete underdresser.
Yeah.
Yes, I love being comfortable. However, I thought you meant this is a fantasy world where someone would come in and dress me. Like if high heels were comfortable and if I didn't have to wear bras, then I would love to be overdressed. I would love it if someone was like, put this together with this jaunty little hat. That's a fantasy world. Assuming we have these magic powers. But if in real life, no, I would be chronically underdressed. That's just what I already am. Chronically underdressed.
Right. That's why I thought you would say that.
So why do you choose overdressed? Because
okay, lately I'm into sweatshirts, but I would rather always be the person who's like, oh, she wore a skirt and heels to this thing. That's not necessary. I would rather be that than, oh, she wore her pajamas to this thing. That's embarrassing.
Patrick wore a suit to my college reunion. And he was the only person, which of course we both kind of dressed up because we're like, hey, it's a nice, they're having a party for us. Everybody was like in shorts and plaid shirts, untucked. Oh, yeah. And he was in a suit. Oh, God bless him. But everybody was like, wow.
And everyone was like, God, he's so blue collar. I buy it.
Exactly.
All right. Just a couple more. Would you rather always have BO and not know it or always smell BO on everyone else?
Oh my God. There was only one time where I was having a one-night stand and the guy had BO and I was kind of into it. No, I was kind of into it.
Oh,
he
you
was
were
French. Well, he was French. You know what I mean? It was in London and it was this dangerous, stupid thing. Like where I was like, he was pretending that we weren't going to have sex. He was like that wasn't his intention. And I went to the bathroom.
You mean he was crying and running away?
Oh, that's fantastic. I think I'd rather not know that I have BO. That's for sure.
Okay.
And I apologize to that guy if he's listening. I shouldn't have done what I did.
Yeah. Okay, 2 more. These are real quick. Would you rather watch nothing but Hallmark Christmas movies or nothing but horror movies? 1, 2, 3, horror.
I don't want to watch either of those things, but I guess Christmas movies.
Of course. And
if you watch nonstop horror movies, aren't you going to become a murderer or something? Like,
don't worry about
it.
Really? Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But I am your daughter.
I'm glad we Zoom.
And then the last one, and this could spark some interesting debate. Would you rather swim in a pool full of Nutella or a pool full of maple syrup?
Well, there's no swimming in Nutella. I mean, it's really just floating. That's a lot less work. So for the workout, I'll take the maple syrup because I need it. And I love maple syrup.
I adore Nutella.
But how do you get Nutella out of the crack of your ass? You're not thinking this through.
Not my problem.
Like you need to have a pause button so you can think these things through.
It's true. Yes.
I assume that's Nutella in the crack of your ass. What? Gross. Anyway.
My game is done, but it was fun.
It was very fun. Thank you. I love it.
Yes.
So now it's my job. It's my goddamn job, Mandy. Stop telling me what to do. Please join the Zoom meeting in progress. Like, so bossy. I am going to assign you a movie that you're going to love. This is such a gimme.
Yeah.
It's almost embarrassing to the people who come here to hear us argue. But I think I'm going to hate it. So this is going to be great.
Okay.
80 for Brady is the movie that we are going to go see.
I feel like that movie was written for and created for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But we're going to go see it.
Yay!
I don't even like Tom Brady.
Nor do I. Love football.
But you respect him as an athlete.
I do.
I do too.
Yeah. But I've been dying to see it, so this will be great.
Yeah, I actually am excited. When you said it, I thought when you mentioned it to me a couple weeks ago, I thought it was like a documentary or something. Like I thought it was a feel-good football, like come from behind thing. I don't know what I thought it was. Like I thought it was like a Rudy
from behind. You have really outdone yourself.
No, I thought it was like Rudy. You know what I mean? For some reason. Anyway, so this is going to be fun. I am excited. That's what we're doing. Everybody get on board, you guys. None of that fancy schmancy Oscar stuff for us.
Nope. I love it.
All right. See you next week.
Bye.
I love you.
Love you.